day I'm gonna have a job. And it's really got me thinking about the things that grown-ups do every day. This thing you call work? Well, I've got a few thoughts about it. Watch my desk, will you, John? I mean, I'm no expert, but if you go through the trouble of working every day, shouldn't it be work that fulfills you? Who here's fulfilled? Anyone? But don't get your khakis in a twist, people. The good news is that there's a better way to work.
Really?
No.
Oh,
Just kidding. Of course there is.
thanks.
There's a better way than drowning in IT requests, a better way to help customers, and a better way than filling out endless stacks of paperwork. Look, I don't even know why paper still exists. All I know is that I knew how to use this thing before I could even talk. See? I just ordered coffee, and I don't even drink coffee. Shouldn't work be this easy? The future of work is streamlined. It's where Phyllis can forget about endless filing and remember what she loves about her job. Like resourcing humans? And it's where Gary here can do the best work of his career, not the best routine tasks of his career. And Jackie? Well, I'm just gonna assume that's work. Bottom line is, if you free people from the work they had to do, they can get on with the work they want to do. It's still gross. Work should fulfill us. Work should inspire us. Together we can defeat the daily grind. The future of work is now. Nice. Hey, John, this is your cue, but don't be nervous. Only 20,000 people watching your every move. If you need any help, I'll be right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President and Chief Executive Officer of ServiceNow, John Donahoe.
So good morning. Oh, come on, we got to warm this room up. Good morning. That's a little better. One more time. Good morning. That's what we're talking about. Welcome to Knowledge 19. Wasn't that video awesome? The young actress in that video is named Brooklyn. So let's give it up for Brooklyn one more time, huh? You know, Brooklyn was talking about the future of work. And at ServiceNow, we are so excited about being part of the future of work. In fact, it's in our very purpose as a company.
Hey, John. I'm not sure if I get right into that yet.
What? I'm sorry?
It's just that if it were me on that stage, I'm not sure if that's how I'd be kicking off K-19.
Is that Brooklyn? Oh my goodness, Brooklyn's here. Wow, Brooklyn, you're here in person. I've never been on stage with a movie star before.
Look, John, don't get me wrong. You're doing great. But generally, when you're giving a speech, you want to warm the crowd up with a little joke or something. Or say a humorous story. You don't just get down to business.
But Brooklyn, no one ever laughs at my jokes. And besides, I'm just so passionate about the future of work.
Right, but John, if you get over your skis, you'll lose the crowd before you even get started.
Brooklyn, that happens to me a lot. Could you help me, please?
Fine. Look, when I open up a speech, I like to start off with the what-if scenario. Check it out. What if, in the future, our lives at work could be no different than our lives at home? And then pause for dramatic effect. See that? What do you guys think? Okay. You try, John.
Well, okay. What if in the future, our lives at work could be no different than our lives at home? How was that?
Did I really do that? Work on it. And if you get into any trouble, I'll be right here.
Okay, thank you, Brooklyn. How about that, ladies and gentlemen, Brooklyn? I'll tell you what. After working with this young lady, I want to have a future in her movie career. So again, welcome to Knowledge 19. As Brooklyn mentioned in the video, this is our largest knowledge ever, with over 20,000 people in this room here this morning. Give your hands a big round of applause. And one of the things that I think makes this company, ServiceNow, and more importantly, this event, so special, is that this is a real community. This isn't just a group of people. We have in with us here today, we have many long-term ServiceNow customers. We have new or prospective ServiceNow customers. We have thousands of developers that build on the ServiceNow platform. And we have many people from our really important partner ecosystem. And so I want to start out this morning with just a heartfelt thank you from all of us at ServiceNow. I want you to know that you inspire us, you motivate us, you're the reason we're here to serve you. And one of the unique things about this event is the event is not about us at ServiceNow. This is an event about you. In fact, over the next 3 days, there will be over 600 sessions that you can attend to learn more about how to implement ServiceNow or different features or products. And here's what's amazing. Over 90% of those sessions are taught by you, by customers. Imagine that. Customers sharing your experience and teaching other customers. That is what a community is all about. And so I want to ask you just to join me to thank in advance the over 600 customers who volunteered to share their experience and put a lot of time and effort to preparing to those sessions. So please join me in thanking those. And I encourage you, take full advantage of the next 3 days. Take advantage of those 600 sessions to learn. I hope that you get a little bit inspired by the 5 different keynotes that you'll hear. And perhaps most importantly, take advantage of this opportunity to strengthen this community and get connected with one another. You know, I have one of the best jobs in the world. I get to fly all over the world and meet with you, our customers. I get to listen to you. I get to learn from you. I get to see the incredible creativity you have in trying to drive digital transformation at your companies. And as I step back, I believe that we are at a moment, a very exciting moment. I believe it's an inflection point, possibly even a tipping point, where we are on the precipice of technology fundamentally changing our lives at work. Now, we know over the past 10 years, technology has transformed our lives at home. And now, the very same thing is going to happen at work. And we know that mobile technology has been at the center of that transformation at home. It's been the great unlock, and now that's going to happen at work. And at ServiceNow, we are, in fact, very motivated to help enable that future of work. In fact, it's at the very core of our purpose as a company. We make the world of work work better for people. And you may remember from last year, there are 2 very important ideas in that statement. The first is around the world of work. And that's a belief that the future of work will change more now in the next 3 to 5 years than in the last 20. And we feel deeply committed and excited to help enable that future of work with you. And then the phrase work better for people is very important to us. It is a value statement started by our founder, Fred Luddy, who's sitting right here in the front row. Fred deeply believes that it's technology in service of people and not the other way around. And we believe that technology can help take the 20, 30, 40% of our lives at work where we're doing repetitive and administrative and redundant tasks and automate those things so that we can focus all of our time at work doing our creative best. And so we're very excited about partnering with you to create the future of work and doing so in a way that enriches the human experience at work. Now let's just step back and reflect for a minute on what's happened in our lives at home. Think back 10 or 15 years ago. When you wanted to go shopping, you had to go to the mall. When you wanted to get your news, you read a physical newspaper or magazine. When you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to the movie theater or sit on your sofa at home watching a fixed TV screen. When you needed a ride somewhere, you had to go down to the curb and hail a cab. Anyone remember those days? Think about it. That was only 10 or 15 years ago. And then, on June 29th, 2007, everything changed. That was the day that the iPhone was launched. And over the last 10 years, mobile technology has enabled us to completely transform our lives at home. Think about it. Let me ask, how many of you, every time you shop, use your mobile device at least some point in the shopping experience to do research, to compare products, or maybe even to buy things? Yeah. How many of you now consume more news on your smartphone or tablet or laptop than you do in a physical newspaper or magazine? Yeah. Here's one. How many of you now consume more of your entertainment, more movies, shows, videos on your smartphone or tablet than you do in a theater or on your TV at home? Yeah, me too. How about this? How many of you have ordered a Lyft or an Uber over the last month? Yeah. Here's the simple fact. In our lives at home, mobile technology allows us to get what we want, when we want it, how we want it. Mobile technology has allowed us to get rid of many of the administrative, repetitive, redundant tasks. Technology hides the complexity of our lives at home and delivers us simple, easy, intuitive experiences. And that's only been in the last 12 years. When you have a problem at home, let's take an example. Let's say, I hope all of you have PayPal accounts. And let's say you need to reset your PayPal password. The reality is you can do it on your mobile phone safely and securely in 20 seconds from anywhere in the world. Now let's compare our life at home with our life at work. So let's say you were in your hotel room last night and you had to reset your email password. What's that like? It's brain damage. What do you have to do? You have to call IT. How many of you have been in a meeting where you need someone to video in and the video conference doesn't work? What do? You have to call IT. How many times right before an important meeting you want to print something and the printer doesn't work? What do you have to do? You call IT. And it's not just IT. What do you do when you have a question about your health benefits? You call HR. What do you do at work when you see a sink is clogged in the restroom? You call facilities. Sometimes you don't even know who to call. If you have a problem with your payroll, do you call HR or do you call finance? The simple fact of the matter is, while our lives at home have simple, easy, intuitive experiences, our lives at work are complicated, complex, and they're frustrating. Whether you have a problem you're trying to report and get resolved, whether you have a question, or just a simple, basic task. So let's take a minute and talk about how you build a great experience, whether it's at home or work. There are two parts to building a great experience. I'm going to talk about above the line and beneath the line. Now, above the line is all about creating a great user experience. Something that's simple, easy, intuitive. Whether it's on your mobile phone, on your tablet, maybe even using something like Alexa or Google at home. But the hard work happens beneath the line, because you have to actually deliver on that experience. And that often involves lots of complexity. That involves touching multiple systems and tools and technologies. And the key there, you've got to take that complexity and tame it. And you do that through embracing digital workflow. Let's just take a simple example. How many of you have bought something on Amazon? Right? Amazon's famous. Really simple experience. Find what you want, buy it with one click. That is a really simple experience above the line. By the way, buy it with one click and expect it's there 2 days later. But beneath the line, there's an extraordinary amount that needs to happen. Your order has to go to the right Amazon warehouse, where that product has to be pulled off the shelf, put into a package. The other things you ordered have to be put into that same package. An accurate shipping label has to be put on that package. It needs to be shipped to your house. By the way, there's a whole set of payment streams going too. You tell your credit card company to pay Amazon. Amazon then has to pay the supplier of that product, and on and on. A lot of complexity, but what Amazon's done is they digitize and automate that workflow so that you have a great experience. So the key to a good experience is two-part: great intuitive user experience and digitized workflow to make it happen. Now let's think about most of our experiences at work today. What do? We expose our users to the complexity, right? In many cases, sometimes we're really proud of the complexity. But the reality is most things at work are complex because it does require touching multiple systems and products and data sets to get anything real done. This is where we're at, the inflection point. Because over the next 3 days, you are going to see how the Now platform can now enable you to build the same kind of experiences at work as we get at home. And we're going to do that by providing you native mobile capabilities that allow you to build the same great mobile experiences for your employees and for your customers as you're used to at home. Native, out of the box in our New York release. But as importantly, the Now platform will help you do the really hard work, which is integrating to all the various systems and tools and data sets required to deliver on that experience and automate it through digital workflow. Let me just take a simple example. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from Joe Davis, one of our top engineers, talking about the exciting new mobile onboarding app coming in our New York release. And as you hear Joe talk, I want you to be thinking about this above the line, below the line paradigm. He's going to show how you're going to be able to give a new employee for your company a beautifully simple, easy, intuitive experience where they think the onboarding experience is as simple as everything happening on one mobile app. And then Joe's going to show you how the hard work of connecting into all the supporting systems, ADP for payroll, Concur for T&E, Workday for HR, All the hard work beneath the line can be done on the Now platform. That is a powerful combination, and I would say a unique combination. So let me wrap up where I started. I believe we're at a very exciting moment in time, an inflection point, maybe even a tipping point. Over the next 3 days, you will see how you can now build the same kind of experiences for your customers and your employees as they're accustomed to getting at home. You're going to be able to give them what they want, when they want, how they want it at work. And mobile technology will be at the very center of our ability to do that. And so we are very proud and excited to partner with you to indeed help make the world of work better for people. Now, we're going to give you a chance to see firsthand how that's going to happen by sharing our product roadmaps, our technology innovations, and allowing you to hear some customers that are already on this journey. So with no further ado, I ask you to help me welcome to the stage someone that needs no introduction, our Chief Product Officer.
CJ?
Brooklyn, I'm pretty sure John said Chief Product Officer, and he introduced me.
Well, that's weird because I'm pretty sure he introduced me.
I pretty well remember that he said Chief Product Officer and the product expert, which is me.
Well, that's the thing, CJ. With the Now platform, we're all product experts. I mean, I can write apps, and I don't even know how to code.
Fair point.
Fact is, the Now platform makes writing apps so easy that even a grown-up could do it. Or in your case, a chief product officer.
I guess that makes you a product expert after all. And
Well, wise words, CJ. In fact, I'm so impressed that I think I'll let you lead this presentation.
thank you, Brooklyn. And please give her a big round of applause. So who is ready to see some of the greatest product innovations? Many of you have told me that you love our platform. And you know what? We also love our platform. And the reason is quite simple. We are a platform company at our core. We are a platform company at our core. And we have stayed true to that core by having a single cloud platform with single data model for all of our products. I'm going to repeat, single cloud platform with single data model for all of our products. Now, this data model acts as a single source of truth for all your assets, your knowledge base, and services. Last year, the product teams have been incredibly busy. We have made many advances in mobile technologies, integration technologies, virtual agent, and machine learning. And as John described, the mobile platform, beginning Madrid release, is fully integrated into Now platform, keeping in mind the single platform philosophy, so you can deliver great experiences for iOS and Android, which are consumer class. This single platform powers all of our workflows, whether these workflows are IT workflows, employee workflows, or customer workflows. We have an amazing product portfolio. And what we have done is combine these products by these workflows for simplicity. Even though these workflows are interdependent, we have grouped them by the key stakeholders they serve. And that's it. Now, this is our roadmap. And today, I am really excited to show you all the innovations in, you guessed it, this is so that you remember it's New York release. All right. As I go around and visit many of you, you have built great applications on our platform, whether it's for IT, whether it's for your partners, whether it's for your customers, or whether it's for your employees. And we have seen tremendous growth in the number of developers who are now developing on ServiceNow platform, and hundreds of millions of users who use ServiceNow platform on a regular basis. This is super encouraging for us. We heard your feedback, and your feedback was, CJ and the team, please make it that simple for us to create applications really, really fast, hide the complexity of the platform, and we want to build great-looking workflows so that in a low-code, no-code environment, we can still do it. So we heard your feedback, and we are launching our first version of Guided App Creator. What this Guided App Creator does, you define whatever application you want to build. You can have your company's logo. You can say the experiences you want, whether it's the web experience, mobile experience, both experiences, workspace experience, and most importantly, if you have 20 tables, 50 tables, multiple columns, you should be able to import from Excel and create the data types so that the app can be created really, really fast. We have made it so simple that what you see is what you get in terms of, I have an idea, and I want to create an app. So I'm really, really pleased to announce our first version of Guided App Creator, which will allow you to create apps in literally few minutes. And you can have single or few clicks for mobile app, the native app that we just talked about, as well as for a web app. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Now, when I speak to many of you, there is a consistent theme. You use ServiceNow for IT, but many of you are using ServiceNow for enterprise-wide platform. You are connecting the dots or connecting workflows across many silos and many systems. And you also want us to integrate at a higher level with a collaboration software, messaging software, or potentially Office 365. This puts an incredible amount of pressure on us to continue to raise the bar on integration technologies we have. So we have made advances in our integration technology, two of them, Integration Hub and Action Designer. We are going to make it simple for you to integrate with very little code, really good-looking user interface where it's simple to integrate with other systems, and most importantly, throughout this year, via our store, we are going to be publishing so many integrations that most of these software publishers here are integrated with ServiceNow platform for different operations, whether it's CRM, ERP, messaging, collaboration, and other software. Now, this integration hub technology, it was launched about a couple of releases ago, but we have made so much progress in this technology that what you see here is a customer service agent. Say a customer service agent is trying to upsell a product or a set of products. And what happens here is that you want to say connect to Microsoft Dynamics. If Microsoft Dynamics, which it does, supports introspection APIs, not only you will be able to see the schema for some of the objects, if there are custom objects, it will pick it up as well, and you can create a very simple, reusable integration that goes from ServiceNow to Microsoft Dynamics, and if you decide that you want to post that opportunity or notify that sales rep based on the rules that you have set, you can do that via messaging software, email, or any other mobile notifications that we support. This is really, really cool. We want to make it so simple for you to be able to do integration, because the reality is, whether it's a CRM software, ERP software, financial software, supply chain software, they will be always changing. And once you develop this integration, you can reuse it multiple times. So integration hub technology, where we will allow you to integrate ServiceNow with anything. And it is our goal to continue to provide you with out-of-box integrations with many, many software publishers. And if you have a proprietary software, we are going to support multiple protocols so that your life is easier when you're doing the integration. Upgrades, my favorite topic. I would tell you that since I've been a software developer, whether it's upgrading software, upgrading firmware, my Windows 3.1 when I started earlier, all those updates, Patch Tuesdays, is the bane of software industry's existence, okay? We heard your feedback that you want our upgrades to be as painless as possible. So we now have an entire team just focused on upgrade technologies, with a goal being we want to provide upgrade as a service. So let me tell you a couple of things we have done. Number one, beginning Madrid release, now we provide the release. So our engineering team led by Pat Casey have completely changed their processes, and we will provide a release 60 days prior to us going GA, so you can test it in sub-production and provide us with the feedback. Our release calendar is 6 months, so we are pretty much done in 4 months. We give you that release, and then you give us feedback. Similarly, 45 days before, we feel comfortable that you should be able to upgrade in production environment, and if there is any feedback, bugs, that we will address it as soon as we can. I was so encouraged that in Madrid release, thousands of customers actually took advantage of our release testing program and early access program, and the adoption numbers are great, so thank you. Our work is not done here. The consistent feedback I get from all of you is that, CJ, it takes us anywhere from 60 to 120 days to test a major release. And can you provide a set of technologies that will help us do regressions or regression testing and make it faster for us to upgrade? We have released automated testing framework, and what we have done is allow you to test the out-of-box forms, custom forms, service portal, service catalog, but we didn't stop there. we are going to be providing you, as you saw here in Madrid, in New York 300, lots of regression tests for all of our products. So this will accelerate your regression testing cycle, and when you want to upgrade, you feel comfortable that when you hit the button on production, that you will not break any of your workflows. And the last thing I would say is that upgrade speed is of paramount importance. Our platform is now used for customer-facing, employee-facing activities. We understand that. So when it comes to patching cycles or hard fixes or major upgrade, we have shrunk the time significantly, and we will continue to work on this for a foreseeable future. I have been waiting this whole year for innovations that we are going to show you today in IT workflows. We all agree that best service is a fully automated one. Best service is a fully automated one. From a technology industry standpoint, we are still a few years away from that, to get a fully automated service end to end. Whether you are defining the service, designing the service, fulfilling the service, monitoring the service, ensuring that service works really well from efficiency, security, reliability, availability, it is on us as a community to reduce the friction in the services. So I told my graphics team, let's reduce the friction. In case you are wondering, your first physics class, I told them coefficient of friction needs to be 0, which is mu, and they thought I said mu equals 0. That's supposed to be funny. OK, so we want to reduce the friction, and this coefficient of friction needs to get to 0 for us to have a fully automated service. Now, when I speak to you, all of you, as the digitization accelerates, are creating so many services for employees, customers, and partners. And IT is at the center of these services. It is IT's job to deliver these services reliably, securely, and efficiently. And that puts a lot of pressure on you for this digital service. The other thing I would say is that I have spoken to some of you where you have as many as tens of thousands of services. And a typical organization could have 800 to 1,500 services. The consistent feedback that I get when I speak to many of you is that you want visibility and health at one place for all your services, OK? Visibility into health of all your services. Number two, you want to supercharge your IT agents with intelligence and make their lives much easier. These IT agents are the face of IT, and it is our goal and your goal to make them as efficient, expedite the service so that customers, as in employees, are satisfied. And number three, for all those service owners who own these thousands of services, you want to raise the bar on service delivery. This has been consistent feedback. So what I'm going to do today to show you the innovations in New York, use a simple example. We are going to use an example of a payroll service. And I could have picked collaboration service. We could have picked a wireless service. We could pick any service. And if that service is being degraded, I want you to see that through the eyes of NOC operator, IT agent, and service owner. And ServiceNow platform works really hard to connect all the dots so that, again, the services are delivered reliably and securely. So let's first look at the innovation for the knock operator. And to bring it to life, I would turn it over to Paul.
I can't believe it's only Tuesday. It feels like a long week already. Like most days, I have hundreds of alerts streaming through constantly. I have to stay on top of everything. I swear, sometimes it feels like if I blink at the wrong time, if I get out of my seat at the wrong moment, if I go to the bathroom, I might miss something critical. And of course, this is Tuesday, which means it's Knock Visit Tuesday. We're having a bunch of execs walking through the knock later today. I hate these things. Last time we did one of these, we had a meltdown, a severe outage right in front of the CTO. That is not a good look for us. But you know what? I'm actually kind of excited. We have this new thing called Operator Workspace from ServiceNow. And I've been using it for the past few weeks. It's pretty sweet. Let me show you. So up top, we have general information about how we're doing as a whole. That's always really good to know. Below that, we have My Services. And I mean all of my services in a single view. How cool is that? I've never had this kind of visibility before. I can sort these things by severity, location, business criticality. I used to have to hunt in so many different places to find this kind of information. But now, at a glance, I can see exactly what I should be looking at right now. And that would be the red stuff. Because around here, we don't like red stuff, like this one. Let's see what this is. Oh, boy. That would be the payroll service. As in, if this thing's in trouble, nobody's getting paid payroll service. And payday is this Friday. We better look into this right now. So the top alert is right here, front and center. I'm going to dig into that. Oh, and this is one of the cool workspace views from ServiceNow. There's a timeline. It lets me know what happened before, during, and even after this alert. There's additional information about services and events and related alerts. There's even guidance on how to investigate and remediate. I mean, talk about connecting the dots for me. This is some next level stuff. I actually can't wait for the execs to stop by today. I want them to see how we're running. OK, so back to this alert. This is a hardware issue. And so I'm going to create an incident for the IT team. There you go. So that was like four clicks. 4 clicks and done. That's amazing. I love this thing.
Wasn't that awesome? So one of the things that all of you tell us is there are so many events coming from so many services, so many data sources. We need to aggregate them, correlate them, and raise the right alerts so that a knock operator or the operations team can act on. And it doesn't have to be manual. This could be automated as well. So this is our one dashboard for AI ops. And the second thing I would say, we didn't show it today, we also have native mobile app in New York for the knock operator. So really, really excited. So what you saw here is that Paul saw that there was a issue with the payroll service, which could be a real issue, which could potentially not be a real issue, and he created an incident. So that's a machine that alerted something, and then there was a human intervention to create alert or / incident. Now, we are going to see this story through the life of an IT agent who is getting all the data from machines and humans. So to bring that to life, please welcome Serena, our IT agent.
Yay! There's only 10 minutes left until break, and I'm super excited because I get to see an old friend of mine for lunch, and I haven't seen her for a really long time. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to take a really quick look into Agent Workspace and make sure that things are still looking good. Oh, by the way, I love this new landing page. It's basically my entire workday in one view. How cool is that? OK, I see that we just got an incident in about payroll, but I don't think it should be a big deal. We're always getting incidents about payroll around pay period. People want to get paid, you know? But then again, it is about CPU percentage, so I'll double check. I'll refresh the screen. Oh no, there's more incidents now. And they're P1s? OK, I should text my friend and let her know I might not be able to make lunch. This sucks. Oh, it looks like I also got a recommendation. Check this out. I love this new feature. Somehow, Agent Workspace has taken all the incidents that I have coming in from both our customers and from Alert Intelligence, and it's showing me the top incident to look at. I used to have to comb through this all by myself. And for 27 incidents, I think we all know how long that would have taken. This is magic. OK, I'm going to check out this incident now. OK, interesting. Oh, here's another really helpful thing. Agent Assist now uses machine learning, and it shows me all these recommendations you think can help me out with this incident with the best recommendation on top. It looks like in my case, it's telling me that I need to propose a major incident. Wow. I remember the last time we had a major incident, I called a bunch of people just to make sure it really was a major incident. I don't want to bug my team with a false alarm, you know? But I feel like with machine learning, it really is a game changer because I know that it's considering our company's historical data when it makes this recommendation. OK, I'm going to make this major incident now. Look at that. Just one click. 27 incidents grouped. I feel pretty good knowing that my team just got alerted and is working on this now. And there's no more P1s for me. Looks like somebody is going to be able to make lunch after all. I'm going to give Christine a call.
That was really awesome. So what you saw here is that during a potential outage or a service degradation, you may have multiple incidents being reported by either humans or machines, and it becomes overwhelming for IT agents. And sometimes IT agents do not know what other IT agents are working on. So what you saw here is that based on the incidents that look similar, we were able to identify the top incident. And then based on the history of such incidents, we said, most likely, you need to raise this as a major incident. So machine was assisting humans so that humans can be much more productive. So Agent Workspace, we originally launched in London, but now we have a lot more artificial intelligence capabilities, specifically supervised machine learning. And we have configurable homepage, so your IT agents can see their entire day on one screen. And beginning Madrid, we have a native mobile app for our IT agents. So now you saw that Paul, who was a NOC operator, Serena, who was an IT agent, but what about the service owner? The service owner who is responsible for this payroll service, and your organization could have many service owners, and there is somebody at the highest level in the operations team who is responsible for all the services. So now let's look at life in a day of a service owner who is having issues with their service. So Morgan, take it away.
So I am having a wild day, but every day is wild in IT services. I did happen to have a break in between meetings, so I went down to the coffee bar to grab something. And of course, while I'm in line, I get an alert on my phone that something's up with payroll. So I rushed back up here to see what was going on. Now, 6 months ago, I would have panicked. Issues like this could take me hours to resolve. I'd have to go to 5 or 6 different sources of information to try to figure out what was going on. And then I'd always have to bug Paul and Serena to help me figure it out. And let's be real, nobody likes that. But this time it's different. Let me show you why. This is my service owner workspace. Now from here, I can see all of my service offerings. I get this nice, tidy list, plus an overview of all the things that need my attention. We can see right away that something's up with payroll, and we knew that already. But I can also click down to see which source the problem is coming from. And of course, it's Xandra. Xandra gives me problems all the time. Let's see what it is now. So when I look at Xandra, I can see right away that they just had a big dip in their performance, plus a bunch of little ones too. And customers are just really not happy with this service. Their performance continues to just decline over time. And considering they're still on-prem, this is not exactly a surprise. But I can also see that Paula and Serena are already on this, and I am so glad, because payroll is just a few days away. But honestly, I am so tired of dealing with this vendor. I just feel like I have to babysit them all the time. These problems just constantly pop up, and especially close to payday. My next meeting is about budgets, and this could be the perfect time for me to make a case to just get rid of Xandra and go with a different vendor. But before I go into that meeting, I'm going to have to arm myself with some data. So I can head over to my payroll overview page to see all my payroll offerings. Plus, I can compare them against each other. So I can see things like cost and stability. I can even compare how different vendors do across different regions to make sure all my divisions are performing well. Now, a vendor I really like is High5. Customers love High5, and I love them because their performance is super consistent. These numbers are great, especially compared to Xandra. I can take all this information into my next meeting and make a really strong argument to get rid of Xandra and just move everything over to High5. Now, before getting this kind of data, it could take me 2 or 3 weeks. I might have to go to 20 or 30 different places and compile all this information together and try to make sense of it. And I never really felt like I had that big picture. But with this kind of 360-degree overview from ServiceNow, I'm super confident I'm making strategic decisions because that data story, it's already told for me. And I can focus my time on more productive things like, well, I don't know, I might even optimize e-commerce services next.
Please give a big round of applause to Morgan. As you have more and more services that are getting digitized, we are really excited about our Service Owner Workspace. This gives you a 360-degree view in real-time performance of your services, satisfaction scores, consumption, and costs. This way, IT organization can keep their vendors honest and quickly run reports. And what you saw here as a Service Owner Workspace, you saw embedded analytics, you saw configurable workspace, and we are really excited on the integration between our Service Owner Workspace and vendor management module. So what you saw in New York release is through eyes of Paul, Serena, and Morgan that ServiceNow makes it possible to really look at the health of the service, be proactive, and wherever intelligence can help, make the IT agents or the NOC operators or service owner more productive. Now, I'm pleased to welcome a customer on stage who is using ServiceNow to transform their IT and employee and customer workflows and experiences. And she has been there for close to 4 years and driving rapid transformation. I have been their customer for 25 years, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Please welcome on stage Executive Vice President, Chief Digital Officer of United Airlines, who will be interviewed by John Donahoe.
So Linda, thank you so much for joining us at Knowledge this year.
Great to be here.
Thank you. So I'm sure, who here is flying on United Airlines?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got a lot
Thank
of customers here, but I bet
you.
not that many people know much about United the company. Tell us a little bit about United the company.
Sure. Well, you know, we actually are one of the largest airlines in the world, and we fly 160 million people a year. I looked it up. Today we're flying 425,000 people, a little more than that. 4,923 flights, including 38 right here into Las Vegas.
Wow. And you guys are embracing a pretty aggressive digital transformation agenda. Tell us a little bit about how you're approaching that.
Yeah, well, you know, it really starts with the whole airline. We really realize that what we do as an airline is connect people to moments that matter. Now, sometimes that's a job interview or a business meeting or a vacation, or sometimes it's even a really cool conference here in Las Vegas. So to do that, though, we really have to empower our employees to serve our customers, and that's where the technology team fits in. We really believe our customers and our employees really require the best tools.
And we were talking backstage about mobile.
Yeah.
You have really embraced a mobile-first strategy, both for your customers and for your employees. Can you share a little bit about how you've embraced mobile at United?
Yeah. Well, we're really proud of the tools and technologies we give our customers, the new mobile app that came out just this last year in January. But for our employees, you think about it, airline employees, they don't have a desk. They're mobile. And so 60,000 of our employees are now armed with mobile devices. Our flight attendants, our pilots, our gate agents, our technicians have iPads. They release flights now with their thumbprint. And so that, for the technology team, has really transformed how we have to work. Our employees really are thinking about Amazon, and they're thinking about their internal tools. They're thinking about how they actually do their shopping, or how they check their home, their Ring device, or any of those things. And they want the same kind of tools and ease of operation with how they interact with United.
And speaking of your team, how are you organized? How do you organize technology at United? And the role you're playing, I think, is in many ways the technology leader of the future and how you've organized technology broadly at United. Share a little bit about how you do that.
Yeah. Well, we really believe that we want to create a digital advantage for our customers and our employees. And what that means is we really want to empower that technology team, the DBA and the developers, just as much as the folks that are UX design. So our teams are actually combined. We've even actually changed our name. We don't call ourselves information technology anymore. We call ourselves digital technology, which is a symbol to everyone of how important this transformation is and how really important what everyone in the technology and information technology organization does is critical to our success as an airline.
And I may just note, I think so many organizations tend to put digital and IT separately.
Yeah.
And if you want to build great experiences, organizing the way United and Linda does that makes it an end-to-end experience is just so important.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to talk about it. Should we sort of show everyone a little bit about?
Well, I will tell you that ServiceNow has just a small, actually very big part of what we're doing for our employees. And I'd really proud to bring Eric Engsminger here out on the stage. He's our Managing Director of Employee Technology, and he's going to show you just a few things that we're doing. So come on out.
Eric, come on out.
All right, Eric. Go for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda and John. We wanted to take a moment and share our great story that we've had and we've developed over the last year as we've gone live on ServiceNow and tell a few things about what we've done to align our digital technologies to business priorities, making it easy for our employees to get great customer service and give customer service and enable a great customer journey. First, let's take a moment and talk about how IT or digital technologies, as Linda just shared, has become a trusted business partner. We actually have the same operational metrics that we see in our business. We actually measure ourselves based on flight delays and other things that matter most for our customers and our operations. Let's take a moment and meet Alice. Alice is one of our digital technology executives. Alice has 90 systems that she needs to make sure runs daily in order to make sure a flight takes off. And if one of those goes bump, she has about 20 minutes to make sure that it's back up and running before we have potential customer impact. She traditionally has used very clunky tools. Our incident review process on a daily basis is called STAR, Start the Airline Right. That process was run on a custom wiki site. Wiki is obviously, as everybody here just kind of cringes for a moment, is getting a little bit dated. Then she also has to do the change approval board process. Change approval board was actually done out of Excel spreadsheets with links into other tools in an extremely cumbersome process. Her week consisted of 4.5 hours of meetings to support both incident and change across the organization. Last year, we actually went live with a brand new process and brand new tools that were re-envisioned when we went live on the ServiceNow platform. For us, it was key. Let's look at an incident that she had yesterday. The closed-circuit televisions went off in Houston, and we had an issue where the people at the ramp couldn't see the planes on the televisions. This is critical for them because they actually sit in a windowless room below the airport, and without the CCTVs, we can't run an effective operation. During the daily STAR meeting, Alice is following along and can see what the issue was and determine if it needs to be followed up on again. In this particular case, it was resolved 100%, root cause was found, and they addressed the issue. No follow-up needed. We move on to the next item. Once we're done with major incident review, we actually then go into the process of change approval. In this particular case, we've highlighted a recent change that we've got going. We're actually flying to Naples, Italy, and we're doing a station startup. So in order for us to do that station startup, we actually had to do a change approval because we're during freeze. We're very sensitive about what will change and when with our customers, and we want to make sure the right approvals are in place. Alice is following along. When it's her turn to actually give the approval, she does that verbally. Our CAB process actually used to run twice a week. We've integrated it in with our STAR meeting processes, and we've created a system and tools and processes that makes Alice's life easier. And ultimately, she now spends 3.5 hours more time on other items that's of importance for her because we're able to do CAB and incident review all within 1 hour total over the course of the week. It is a huge win for our digital technology employees to be able to focus in on what matters and not spend time in meetings that's not being effective.
Well, you know, I also think that this is a just really important part of reliability. When I rattled off all those stats about how many people we fly, we all know how important it is that that happens on time. This is actually as important a part of our reliability metrics as our whole high availability and DR architecture is just how easily we can actually make sure these changes happen.
Great. Thanks, Linda. Next, let's talk about making it easy for employees to get service. How many people enjoy filling out workflows that go nowhere, you don't have any tracking, and it just doesn't work, it's a black hole? Let's take a moment and talk about that black hole in regards to one of our flight attendants, Maggie. We have 27,000 flight attendants, and their job is to provide great customer service and safety when you're on board. Invariably, something goes wrong in the process. And then what traditionally happened for Maggie is she was told, hey, when you land and you go back to your domicile or where she has her rest, we want you to go on the corporate intranet site and fill out a web-based form and report what that issue is. Honestly, about 10% of the issues really got reported because when Maggie got back to their domicile, she was thinking about other things. Could be where she wanted to go out for dinner tonight. It could be operationally, what is her next flight. She wasn't focused in on what happened on the blast in that process. We actually took the time to build with a partner of ServiceNow an app called United Voices to enable our flight attendant's voice to be able to report issues real time currently. In that process, Maggie can now actually use that application to report an issue mid-flight so that we can make sure that that issue is resolved and that there's technicians there to take care of the issue when that plane lands. We've taken a moment and we've actually re-envisioned what that process might look like on New York. In our partnership with ServiceNow, we actually want to take the next step, making that totally available online and offline, and making that process even easier yet again for Maggie, because every minute that she has given back to her to not do operational tasks is a minute more that she can provide customer service. So let's go into the app that we've envisioned. If you look at this application, if you notice there's a couple of key things on here. It knows what flight she's working, what the route is, and what the date is. A customer has reported to her that they've had an issue with one of the seat trays, so she's going to click on the virtual assistant in the lower right. That virtual assistant is going to come up to her and say, how can I help you? Maggie's then going to speak into her device and say that the seat tray table in 13B is bent. The virtual assistant is then going to feed back to her and confirm that that information is correct, and she can click or say yes to what that is, and then the incident is created for her automatically. If you think about that, that is a basic two-step process, being able to say what's wrong and to have it confirmed. We know all the rest of the operational details in the background are ready for her, whether it's her flight number, the aircraft that she's flying on, what trip she's on. I don't need to ask her for all that information because I can augment what's going on so that she has an easy experience to make sure that the plane is fixed so that the next flight attendant and the next customer that sits in 13B doesn't have a bent tray table, making her life so much easier in the future.
So I have a question maybe to either of you. Running an airline is one of the most complicated businesses in the world because so many different things can go wrong.
There's always something going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've talked about how important delivering a great experience for your employees is linked to your customer experience. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, this is just such a good example that Eric showed. You know, our flight attendants, in providing service, they needed more tools in their toolkit than apologizing. Say, I'm sorry the tray table is bent in 13B is not something fun to say over and over again, or even if it's something more significant than that. So really empowering them, making them feel part of the solution. They've reported it. They're actually going to help their fellow flight attendants and their customers. Actually has made them more proud. We see them all the time when we're on the planes. We'll see them next time we fly, and they're really thrilled that we're being able to give this to them.
That's great. That's awesome.
Thank you. The last thing we actually wanted to talk about is enabling a great customer journey. There's 93,000 employees at United. We are actually all very passionate about travel. If you ask any United employee what they're doing or their next vacation is, their eyes light up and they take a moment to talk about it. What's interesting is they share that same passion for work as well, and they want to provide great customer service. Let's take a moment and meet Henry. Henry's one of our customer response agents. Traditionally, he had multiple tools to work with. He had to work across multiple teams and rely on his personal knowledge in order to do his job. And ultimately, he was very frustrated because the tools didn't work together and the knowledge was all in his head. And when it came to working with his coworkers, it became difficult to share that information within his team. What we did is we actually took a step back and looked at Henry's process and said, how can we make Henry's life easier? Because the things that he does is making it available for our customers to have a great customer journey. So if we take it for a moment and look at a recent example, we had a grandmother who was reaching out to us about her grandson's stuffed toy, Flopsy. So Flopsy had gone missing in the O'Hare airport, and one of the challenges that we had is, how do we actually get the right information? We put the information in so that we got it captured in the tool, and then ultimately we said, Henry then worked with the O'Hare airport. They looked in Lost and Found. There's actually multiple Lost and Founds in O'Hare airport. They looked at the gate. They looked everywhere. Where could Flopsy actually be? And in this particular case, it was not the best resolution. Henry was unable, and the O'Hare team were unable to locate Flopsy the bunny. And honestly, with having a daughter who has a favorite stuffy as well, we all know what that's going to feel like for that parent to have to say, Flopsy's never coming back. So Henry took a moment and said, I think I can actually make this better. So he had recently actually done a customer outreach event where we actually take a bear called Ben Flying, which is a play on words. The bear's been flying, and we give them to children at local hospitals. Henry went and secured one of those bears, wrote a handwritten note to the grandmother and the grandson, and said, we were unable to find Flopsy. We hope that you'll take Ben as a replacement for that. What a great way for him to actually reach out to our customers and provide great customer service. But the story doesn't end there. The story continues because the grandmother and the grandson are so touched, they actually take a picture with Ben flying and send it back to us, along with actually sending back an edible arrangement of cookies to the customer response team, creating a great 360-degree connection, both with Ben, United, and the customer, providing a great customer journey in the end.
Yeah. Not sure how we top Flopsy.
Yes, yes.
There they are.
Well, Linda and Eric, I just can't thank you enough. You guys just have been an amazing example of using technology and using the ServiceNow platform to kind of drive the kind of experiences for your employees that we're familiar with getting at home, and then they in turn drive the same kind of experiences to your customers.
Absolutely. Between the partnership and the tools, this has been super easy for us to implement. We're looking at more automation every day, and it's been a great time together.
And we're really excited about the new mobile platform. It's going to be great for our employees.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we're really proud to work with you. Please join me in offering a great round of applause for Linda and Eric from United Airlines.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, John. Fun.
Okay, thank you. So let's reflect for a moment on what does a great employee experience look like, or what does a great experience at work look like. And we all have to, like John mentioned earlier, scratch head a little bit on what would constitute a great experience at work. Now, we all agree that the experiences should be what we want, when we want, and how we want. We all share the same philosophy that attracting and retaining talent is super critical. And all of us here, including myself, spend so much time in recruiting a top talent. But when it comes to their onboarding experience, that experience is manual, cumbersome, and simply put, unacceptable. I would say that us as a community, specifically in IT, have a lot of work to do to make sure that when you hire that recruit, all the systems work behind the scene in unison so that the experience for the new recruit when they are onboarding is as smooth as possible. We went to first principles. First, we put a great leader in charge. And second, with few simple clicks, we are going to have a brand new onboarding app in New York. And to show that, I would like to bring our top engineer, Joe Davis.
Thanks, CJ. All right, so we all heard CJ talk about onboarding, and we've all dealt with that in our previous jobs. We're going to deal with it in the future. And it's complicated, and it's slow, and it's tedious. But then earlier, we also heard John talk about in the consumer space, there are companies who figured this out. They simplified the front end, and the back end, they digitized those workflows, and they made it really good on mobile. And that's what we did with onboarding. We used the ServiceNow platform to digitize the back-end workflows, and we created a brand new mobile experience from the ground up, and we're going to share that with you today. So I'm actually going to set the scene here for a second. I'm going to show you what the onboarding app is like on my phone. You can do the whole thing on your phone. And I'm going to show you what it's like to be a new employee. And basically, what you're going to see here is the tasks you have to perform before your first day of work to make sure that when you show up, you're productive, you can contribute, be part of the team. And this is just going to, I think this is just going to surprise people with how simple this is. So let me go ahead and get my phone open here. All right, let's bring up my phone. All right, this is the new onboarding mobile app. This is the home screen of it. And what you're seeing here, a couple things are going to jump out at you right away. The first thing, this home screen and this app, it's purpose-built. It does one thing, new hire onboarding. And again, as John talked about, in the consumer space, It makes a lot of sense. Those apps that we use, they do one thing, and they just try to do that really well. So this is going to be familiar if you've used mobile apps daily or weekly. This is going to be really familiar to you. And the second thing you're going to see here, it's really simple. It is guiding me on the next action to take at every single step. And on this home screen, it says, before my first day, I have 5 onboarding tasks that I need to complete. And there's the only thing that I can do. So it's really intuitive and really obvious. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into that. And here you're going to see the details of the onboarding tasks that I have to do. And the first 3, those are due pretty soon. So we're just going to take care of those right now. And this is probably just going to surprise you with how simple it is. So just let's pay attention here. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my employee badge. And because I have my native device, this is actually pretty straightforward. I can take a picture, obviously, right now, or I can just associate a photo from my library and just follow that big green button. I'm done. That's how easy it is to take care of that employee badge. I didn't have to do any emails. I didn't have to call anybody. I didn't have to log into multiple corporate systems. That was incredibly simple. Yeah, that was awesome, right? Now, the next one is something, we're all technologists in here. The next one's really cool. The laptop, your computer. This is like really important to all of us. And in our consumer lives, we're all really used to great shopping experiences. So we really focused on this and said, how can we deliver an amazing world-class experience just like you have in your consumer life to take care of the laptop? So I'll go ahead and open this onboarding task. And what you're going to see here, this is our shopping experience, and it's available on your phone. And here, for me, in my role, I'm a developer. I've got a laptop. It's a MacBook Pro. And I can scroll down here, and I can see the details. I can change these. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and accept these because this is a great setup. And we're going to go ahead and see how easy it is to place this order. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. That's it. I just ordered a laptop. It's taken care of. Maybe it'll take a few hours or maybe a day or something like that. But it's really, really, oh, hey. That's great employee workflow right there. Thank you very much, Hillary. Appreciate it. Look, ordering that laptop, that really is as simple as ordering an Uber, ordering a Lyft, ordering DoorDash. It's just absolutely fantastic. That's a great experience. And you're just going to love that. I think our employees are going to love that. Now, the last thing I want to do here before I get started on my laptop and have that cup of coffee, a lot of the parts of the onboarding process deal with signing documents. And so let's go ahead and sign a document on our phone. You can see that document in line when you drill into this task. I'm going to go ahead and click that sign button, use the electronic signature capability, and I'm done. So that was 3 onboarding tasks. It's incredibly simple. You can do it all from your device. That's what consumer grade looks like when you digitize those workflows on the back end with the ServiceNow platform. And we're really proud to announce the new onboarding app here, which is available in the New York release. So we can say that's awesome, right?
This is an awesome app, dedicated app for the onboarding task in New York release. Now, since you gave Joe a big round of applause, I said it would be kind of fun to do his performance review in front of all of you. So I'm going to walk over to Joe.
Wait, did you say performance review?
Yes, performance review. We believe in this community, and we need to do a review in front of them.
Well, if it's not good, let's say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
OK, that's fair. All right, Joe. So let's fire up your performance app, and we can do your review together.
All right, let's go ahead.
Oh, I spilled coffee.
Oh, no. All right, CJ, there's coffee everywhere on this laptop. By the way, last year, you threw my computer off the stage.
I did throw your computer.
And this year, you spilled coffee all over my laptop. I'm not bringing a laptop next year.
Awesome. So Joe and the team have been incredibly busy, and we haven't stopped with just the onboarding app. In New York, we are going to launch a brand new employee app. And Joe, let's show this great audience what that brand new employee app looks like.
All right, I think let's do the review.
Did you take the
after we show
picture?
this.
Did you take the picture?
I grabbed it, don't worry.
OK, all right.
All right, so look. You just saw an onboarding app, and it did one thing really well. It was all about new hire onboarding. This second app that you're going to see, it does one thing really well. It's about getting help. And there's a couple different ways as employees that we get help. You might want to report that your manager broke your laptop. He threw it off the stage. She spilled coffee on it. You can also maybe find people information, and then maybe you can also place an order. And it does all those things really, really well. And one of the newest innovations, you can start to use your voice to perform some of these actions. So let's kick it off. Let's report that laptop being broken, and let's use Siri shortcuts and some voice to do that.
Siri shortcuts? That's
That's
awesome.
right.
OK, let's do it.
So let's go ahead and bring up the application. Hey Siri, report an issue to ServiceNow. All right, so that launched us right into a screen to report an issue. And let's go ahead and just associate that image that I just took of that laptop that CJ spilled coffee all over. And I'm going to tap this microphone. I spilled coffee on my laptop. And we can submit it. That's how easy it is to report an issue and to get help, and that's already being routed in the new Now mobile application. And
That's pretty awesome, Joe.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Are you going to tell us about the homepage?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here, now this is the homepage of the Now mobile app. So this is our second app that we're showing you. And this one is going to be useful for everybody in this audience, for all of us. And at the very top, what do you see?
Search.
You've asked us for search. You finally got it. You're going to have search. It's available right there in the native app for all of your employees.
And Joe, I see this approve expense report, and I know that all of our customers use many different systems. Can I get any approvals here?
That's right. So our CIO and our IT staff, they've set up universal approvals across all of our systems. And our customers, everyone in this room, you can do the same thing as well. And that's really what you're seeing here. If you use like Apple TV or Apple Music in your consumer life, you're seeing like these horizontal tiles. Those are approvals that you're seeing across the top there. And you can approve anything in one swipe across the enterprise. It's pretty awesome. That next row that you see there, these are your requests. And again, you're going to see that I just spilled my coffee on that laptop, and you see that request right here. So you can track anything across the enterprise right here on this new app. That's pretty great, right?
So Joe, I know that we have invested a lot on natural language understanding and some of the AI technologies. Where can I see that?
All right, so like Steve Jobs said, there's one more thing.
More thing?
Thing, that's
all right, let's do it.
All right, so AI technology has been added into the platform called natural language understanding. And that's really about a machine being able to parse what you're saying, so what you're speaking, and figure out what your intent is. And so what I can show you here is we can place an order by just speaking. And so let's order a monitor, for example. Let me go ahead and bring up that virtual agent. I need to order a monitor. And I'll go ahead and tap that default. And that's it. We just placed an order for a monitor by speaking. And thank you.
That was super simple. And I know you have a couple of quick things in addition to ordering, quickly asking for help. What else can we show?
All right, so you can see that we just placed that order by drilling through. And if you're used to like Amazon or some e-commerce site, you can see when you click on this card, you can see the details of that order, and it's already awaiting delivery, basically. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and then we will go to the home page from there, so you can see the card right here. Let's go ahead and go to the home page, and let's make sure that that request we just submitted is there, and you can see that. There you go. It's awaiting delivery. Now, there's a couple other things that our customers invested a lot of time in. Service catalog and knowledge, right?
And this is really important. All of you have invested significantly in your service catalogs, and all of those service catalog configurations are now available via mobile app. You do not have to rewrite anything. They will be fully accessible from this mobile app.
That's right.
And you want to show that?
That's right. And we can show you that right here. Let's click to the Request tab below. This is Service Catalog. This is available on your phone. And like CJ said, you don't have to run 2 different catalogs and configure everything twice. And we can go ahead and click on the Articles tab here, and that's Knowledge Base, and it's available right on your device. And we're really, really excited about this. We think it's going to make a tremendous difference for everybody in the room here.
We believe this is a groundbreaking innovation in mobile in New York for employees to get help, to order something, to look something up, and have truly consumerized experience which could be the face of IT. So please give a big round of applause to Joe and the team for doing an amazing job with Now mobile app. We live in an era of digital services, and I know all of you use many digital services daily, weekly, and regularly. Now, my kids use this food delivery service on a regular basis. And what happens in this specific, this is a real story with my daughter, what happens specifically here is that the system was down for 10 minutes, and the driver had the authority not only to issue a full refund, but also give credit for that specific order for future use. So in this connected experiences world, the bar on customer service continues to rise. And to tell you more about our customer workflow products, somebody that this community has known for a long time, she did an amazing job with her IT service management products. Please welcome on stage Farrell Huff.
All right, good morning, everybody. One of the things that I loved about CJ's story about food delivery services, besides the fact that I'm hugely reliant on them, is I love the operational story behind those. I love that it requires those service companies to completely connect their entire organization and their partners to deliver this amazing customer experience. And the other thing I love about it is that this audience knows all about that. This audience, better than anybody else, knows what it takes to create end-to-end connected, proactive experiences and allowing people to self-serve. We just heard about it. So whether it's going deep in IT or across IT and providing great experiences around IT services, or talk about employee service capabilities like HR onboarding and having to coordinate across facilities and our HR teams and our hiring managers in IT. Those connected end-to-end experiences are what we know all about. But it's time that we, all of us, take the opportunity to have more impact in our organizations and extend it to our customers. Why wouldn't we? We know exactly what to do. We do it all day, every day, inside our companies. Let's extend it outside to our customers. They deserve it. But first, I just want to root everybody into what it looks like today. A customer calls in to a customer service agent, expecting an answer, expecting help. It's a reactive situation and often highly disconnected if they aren't able to provide the answer themselves. So they would do the logical thing and try to reach out to different parts of the organization that might help them fix the issue and ultimately get to root cause. But guess what? Customer support today, customer service today is on an island. They are disconnected from the rest of the organization, and that's not okay. What that ends up being is call reaction management. But there's a better way, and we know exactly what that is. That is a connected customer experience that moves end to end in our services. We're able to move from being reactive to being proactive. If we know that there's a service disruption, let's let our customers know it too before they actually experience it. And then better yet, let's also give them a great self-service capability at the same time. Allow them to operate on their own terms. This should be highly familiar to this organization, to this community and this population. In a moment, I'm going to bring up somebody from this community to show you exactly how they've extended it into their customer experience. And I want you to pay close attention, because it is a huge opportunity for this community to continue to have impact on your organizations and within your companies. This connected customer experience is the next standard for customer service in our organizations. At this point, I would really love to bring up John Sullivan from Virgin Trains, our Chief Information Officer there, who knows all about a connected customer service experience. John, please join me. So good to see you. All right.
Morning, all.
All right, John, tell us a little bit about Virgin Trains.
Well, the summary of Virgin Trains is screw average, create amazing, and we do that every day. It's about driving, it's about pushing the boundaries, it's about doing it collectively. We work very much as a team. We sometimes fail, but we just carry on. We're doing it for the sake of our customers and for the sake of our colleagues. Digital transformation never stops, and we love it, and that's screw average, create amazing. To do this, I think it's really important that we get the culture right. Because when you do so much innovation, some things are going to fail. So the culture for all of us, not just the technology team, but everyone at Virgin Trains is absolutely critical. And really, in summary, what that is we fail, we learn, and we learn really well, and we do that really well. What we do really, really, really badly is blame. In fact, we don't do any blame whatsoever, but we do it collectively. Now, Farrell, we've found, and this is, if you keep this to yourself, please, don't tell anyone else.
I won't tell anyone, not a soul.
No one else. A couple of secrets to drive digital innovation and drive change. One of those is go out onto the trains. So myself and my team, we're going out to the trains. We're going onto the stations. We're listening to our frontline staff. Now, our frontline staff, they know what they want, and they know what our customers want. So it's a fantastic font of information that they have. We just ask the open questions. What's your challenges? What do the customers want? What's good? What's bad? We just drive those conversations. It's really important, though, to know what they want and act and deliver on it. So that's secret one. Keep that one to yourself. Secret two is really just about planning what you know. And I think it's a period about forward 3 months to 6 months. You know that. We're doing a whole list of kind of initiatives. In our current trunk of initiatives, we're doing free Wi-Fi for everyone in part of Digital Train of the Future. We're doing our brilliant disruption module with our great partners at ServiceNow. We're putting in a new CRM system. So what we do, we chunk those up in a group, and then we put the lens of a customer. What does that mean collectively to a customer? And the other lens is, what does that mean to our colleagues? Joining those things together is really powerful, but please don't tell anyone about those little secrets. Okay. That's Virgin Trains. Screw average, create amazing.
That's my favorite part. That's not secret, though. Okay, so you learned something really interesting about the correlation between employee experience and customer satisfaction. We got to tell everybody about that.
I will do, Farrell. So our NPS we monitor that very regularly, and we do the same for our colleagues. We call that Vibe, and we do that pulse really regularly. So what we found is generally both of them are aligned at about 40. However, in times of disruption, it goes from 40 to -30. And if I get my maths right, that's a swing of 70. And that's the same for our customers and our colleagues. Because when I'm in the front line and I'm working in times of disruption, it really isn't easy. So what we're trying to do, and I think we might be talking about disruption later on, we're trying to get the -30 to be really close to 70. So that means our average is 35. And if we get from 35 to 40, for a customer-centric organization that we are, will make a lot of difference. Those 5 points will be absolutely huge for us. Technology with ServiceNow plays a major part of that.
All right, well, let's look exactly at that, how Virgin Trains and ServiceNow have been working together.
Okay, good.
And when we've been doing that, we've been connecting your employees with an end-to-end experience and with customers, proactively solving issues, and providing that great self-service experience. To walk us through this, vision that you have, we're going to bring out Venki. I think Venki's the perfect person to take us through what you guys have been doing.
Okay.
All right, come on out, Venki.
Let's do that.
Well, I'm really excited to show you all what John and his team, in partnership with ServiceNow, has done to completely transform customer experience and improve operational efficiency. Let's start with that by looking at how Virgin Trains connects employees and processes across departments to deliver end-to-end services. Our story starts with Stacy. She's a station manager, and she's in front of customers all day long. And when they have questions, she's usually one of the first people they reach out to. And if she does not have answers, customer satisfaction suffers. Now, getting all the latest and updated information in the hands of Stacy has been a challenge. Today, with ServiceNow, there is a brand new mobile application that provides Stacy with the latest information about trains, schedules, disruptions, and everything she needs to know to get customers back on track and continue their journeys. Let's look at how it looks like. Let's bring up Stacy's screen here. So what you're seeing here is Stacy gets a notification saying that one of the trains actually got canceled. Now, that's not good. Customers are going to be impacted, and she needs to know what to do to help them. So she clicks into that and then sees more information, more details about that disruption. And the good news is Virgin Trains has already taken steps to ensure customers are not impacted. They've made sure that the tickets are accepted in the subsequent trains on the same route so that customers can continue with the journey. Now, when she sees other details on a mobile screen, she can see all the information like train schedules, disruptions. She can also see her team members if she wants to contact one of them. And if she scrolls down, she can also see other tasks and important information she needs to see. And not just that, if she wants to report an issue, she can do that just easily by using a voice.
There's a burst pipe on platform 3.
No. And an issue is reported. Isn't that cool, John?
In my unbiased view, that is super cool.
Great. So what you just saw was using voice, she was able to report an issue, and the system automatically triggers the workflows that are needed to let other people know, to let other departments know, to resolve that issue so that customers are not impacted. That is self-service. Yeah.
All right, I like that. That's end-to-end service at its finest in moments that matter for all of us travelers, and we know what that looks like. All right, so tell me a little bit more. Could we advance the slides, please? Awesome. All right, so you guys have invested heavily in end-to-end service. I'd love to move us on to proactive service so we can talk about exactly how we're handling issues proactively. I think that would be great. Venki, take it away.
OK. Proactive service is about monitoring systems and data and being able to detect events before it impacts and before it becomes a major disruption for customers. Let's look at how Virgin Trains does that today. Meet Megan. She's a duty operations manager at Virgin Trains, and her job is to make sure that the trains are running on schedule, and if there is a disruption, get them back on schedule. That's a tough job. Today, ServiceNow powers an operations center for Megan that provides her with all the information that she needs in one place. Information about trains, schedules, disruptions, crew members, everything else. Now, when she's looking at that screen, she sees that there is one of the trains that is reporting an alert, and it's highlighted in red. So she wants to click into that to see more details. Now, she sees that the sensors on board the train have detected that there is a brake issue that requires a preventive maintenance. And ServiceNow enables integrating to this information and make it actionable. On the right-hand side, you also see Agent Assist is recommending certain actions for her so that she does not have to figure out what to do next. And she knows that she has to change the schedule on this particular train. So she does exactly that by clicking into the schedule details. Now here, Virgin Trains has automated a lot of these workflows that need to be triggered, like reassigning crews, getting trains on a different schedule, and things like that using the schedule sets that triggers multiple different workflows across different departments to make that process really easy. That is proactive service.
I love that. That's incredible. We'd advance the slides ones, please. All right, so proactive service has really changed the way that service is delivered, and the issues are fixed before your customers even know it. Tell us more about what other ways that you're using proactive service.
So we are super excited about the proactive service. So when things start going wrong on the train, if you let them linger, it becomes a larger issue. So we want it to be proactive. So is the temperature in the cabin right? Is the brake fluids, have we got enough brake fluid? Is the temperature of the engine right? What number of passengers do we have? If the washrooms are smelling a little bit, what can we do about that? There's so much information that we can use. We can tell the right people at Virgin Trains, there's a small problem here. If you fix it, it doesn't become a large problem. The Internet of Things and sensors is really important for Virgin Trains, and I believe anyone in transportation.
OK, I love everything that you just said, and there's more. There's more. Venki, take us through to self-service. We want to show how we're wrapping self-service around all of this for Virgin Train passengers.
Absolutely. No conversation about customer service is complete without looking at the world through a customer's perspective. So let's look at that. Peter is a customer of Virgin Trains who was supposed to take that train that just got canceled. But to help Peter, Virgin Trains already anticipates what a customer needs to know and need to do at that point so that they can continue on with their journey. Let's look at Peter's screen and what he sees. Now, on his mobile, he gets a notification proactively hours before the train schedule that the train that he was supposed to take has been canceled. He can click into the notification to get more details. And here is where the Virgin Trains has anticipated the needs, automatically made sure that his ticket is accepted in the next train on that same route. And he can click into the details to see the train schedule itself. So he sees the canceled train, and he also sees subsequent trains that he can take so that he can get to where he wants to get to. Not just that. If he decides to change his plan and say that I don't want to take the train, I just want to get a refund on my ticket, he can do that easily by interacting with a virtual agent. At the lower end of the screen, you see the virtual agent Penny. So Peter can click on it, bring up the virtual agent, and ask for a refund. At this point, the virtual agent, using natural language understanding, is understanding his intent, understanding what Peter is trying to do, and automatically goes ahead and starts collecting more information. So the virtual agent asks which ticket he wants a refund for. He can select the ticket, submit, and it initiates a workflow to automatically process his refund. It's as easy as that. That's great self-service.
That's an awesome self-service experience. Thank you, Venki.
Thank you.
All right, so John, with all this connected end-to-end customer experience that you've created, you've had a lot of capacity to innovate. Tell everybody here what you guys have done with your fraud detection system.
So again, we're super excited about our fraud system. So we've got the customer service module, and we connect that, and we look at our customers. If they're individually making too many fraudulent claims, this is for delay repay, or what we're finding, when we glue all this data together, this huge amount of data that we've got, the customer's home email, their home postcode, so much information that we've got. If we start joining all the dots up, we can actually sometimes form gangs, and what gangs are doing in terms of making fraudulent activity. There's just, when we connect all of these people into gangs, there's a data explosion, and you have to see this system. It goes, whoo! And we're doing an awful lot in terms of doing the right things for those people who are fraudulating us.
Yeah.
You would have to see the system to see what it does. But not for today.
Not today, not today. All right, we're going to wrap up our session with you, John, and talk about the incredible results that you guys have seen at Virgin Trains.
We've got, so ServiceNow have been an absolutely brilliant partner to us. We've got ServiceNow is in 15 departments, providing a much better working experience, reducing complexity. I should also mention our ServiceNow implementers, UP3, who have been doing a brilliant job for us. I believe we are the connected ServiceNow enterprise, and a really good example of that. We're delivering projects. I've been working for a number of years, I've got to tell you, Farrell, but some of our projects have a payback of 1 day. It's quite incredible.
That's insane. I like that.
We're in a world now, I think, where we're trying to actually share our systems. So what we're doing with disruption, that's applicable for rail. How do you manage disruption? It's applicable to airlines, and it's actually applicable for any business that has a surprising issue. How do you manage that? So we're trying to push that out in the United Kingdom, and even the Department of Transport, who are part of the government, want to know an awful lot more about what we're doing and the exciting innovations that we're doing with ServiceNow. So we're in a period where we want to share what we're doing. We don't have to be competitive. It would be better for us and our partners to have the same systems across things like fraud and disruption. So we're in an amazing place, but we wouldn't be out there with an outstanding platform that is ServiceNow.
John, thank you so much for being here today, sharing your story, and wanting to give back to this community. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. All right, so we've got the customer workflow keynote at 1 o'clock today, and we've got a couple of more customer stories who will be talking about the connected customer experience. CJ is going to come back out here. I just hope that you took away today what your opportunity is to have an impact in IT.
Thank you, Farrell.
Thank you.
So I know we are running a little late, but we just have one last thing to quote Steve Jobs. We created a brand new incubation unit last year, and for the first time, ServiceNow platform will be used to transform a specific function. So please welcome on stage our brand new product leader, Amir Jafari.
ServiceNow has helped transform many of your organizations. We started in IT, then employee and customer workflows. But what about finance? Accounting hasn't changed in over 400 years. That means that the work that your organizations are doing today, it's the same work we were doing back then. It's the same work we were doing back when Shakespeare was still writing. As a former controller, I'd like to shed a little bit of light on one of the most complex processes within the office of the CFO, the month-end close. What is the close? Why do accountants disappear? Well, it's painful and agonizing, but it's a process all of your organizations go through, and we have to do this every single month to ensure we capture the right financial figures. It involves a high volume of tasks, many of which require workflow. It is a highly cross-functional process, and yet we run it today completely blind. It gets even better. We do this every single month. To deal with this, we shut out everything in our lives, including sunlight. Can any of you think of a company that can help us? We can. For those of you in the audience who are in IT and support finance, or part of shared services, or are in finance and are wondering if you're at the right conference, we have a surprise for you. You are familiar with the systems of record. We love the systems of record. We want to complement the systems of record. They manage data, and they do it exceptionally well. By the way, a huge shout out to SAP. That's who we use. But while they manage your data, who is managing your work? We are. We will leverage the ServiceNow platform and digital workflows to help transform a cumbersome process to being completely effortless. With this, we are beyond excited to introduce our newest product, Finance Operations Management. Our first application, Finance Close Automation. We are available in New York, but we are more than a product. We are an extension of our purpose. We make the world of work better for people, and that's exactly what we are doing. Please join us in one of our many sessions. We'd love to talk to every single one of you. Let us help you bring back the sunlight into your organizations. Thank you.
Please give a big round of applause to Amir. I hope this was truly inspirational. We were really excited to showcase all the innovations. Apologies for running a little late. Please attend our customer workflow keynote, employee workflow keynotes, and on Thursday, platform keynote. Thank you for being an amazing audience.